Good morning, and welcome to another beautiful and wonderful episode of Unraveling Her with me, your host, Nikki Alaris. And I'm so excited to talk about today's topic. And if you can't tell, I'm recording outside, so if you hear any sirens, planes, helicopters, cars go by, that's why. I feel like every night and every morning I hear some type of siren go off, and that's just the reality of living around my area. And so I apologize on that regard if you tend to hear that often. But let's get started. What I have been going through lately is something I haven't gone through before, and I feel like I need to address it again because I myself need this reminder when I listen back to this and need a little pick me up, because these past few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't been 100%. I haven't felt 100%. I've had this cough and just wasn't feeling well, so I health-wise wasn't at my best. And similarly to work, I felt like I wasn't at 100% and just was thinking about everything. And when you're not feeling your best, you tend to dwell on things that are temporary, but you forget that. And so, to give you an example, in the beginning of the week, on Monday, I had such a rough Monday. It was like a typical Monday, and I didn't get enough sleep, so I was, clocking into work with a few hours of sleep, and one of my appointments canceled on me as I was on my way to their house, and just kind of set the whole mood and thing off just in the morning. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I hate my job. I was like, I need to find a new job. And like that thought kept resurfacing. And I'm like, I was just wanting to give up. And I got home and I was trying to find a way to release this energy, this tension, and all this anger, And so I went to the gym because I've cried. I need to go do something else, and release some more tension because I feel like there's a lot more I'm holding on to. And so I went to the gym, and typically when I'm on the Stairmaster, I'm there for maybe 5 minutes at most, because if you've done the Stairmaster, that shit is not easy. It really, really will make you sweat like crazy, and it did. And so I hit my PR of 20 minutes. I haven't hit that in a very long time, and so it felt really good. I never regret going to the gym, ever, 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 ever. I feel amazing afterwards, and I'm like, oh, that felt good. Anyways, point is, within the span of 24 hours, I was feeling exhausted. I was considering quitting my job and finding a new one, and I cried and then went to the gym and felt amazing afterwards. Within the span of 24 hours, my emotions kept shifting and shifting and shifting. That's because I kept pivoting. I kept choosing to change my environment, change the way I thought, because I was like, I need to release this tension. I need to get out of my head. And I did. But also, as the week went by, I still had that lingering thought of like, what am I really doing with my life? I'm not really fully happy with what I'm doing, and with work and everything, I just wasn't content. And by Friday, I clocked into work again, and my boss comes up to me. He's like, want to come to a house with me? And I'm like, sure. Where are we going? He's like, I'll tell you in the car. And anyways, when we got there, the house was unfinished. It was getting gutted out, and I love going to homes that are, still in the process of design, and it really made my morning to be in that house just because I get to see it before, and seeing the prep work that's needed to be laid out. And so just that little thing in the morning really made my day. And also my appointments later that afternoon, I went to one of my clients' houses to do a kitchen remodel and kind of get a good idea of what she's looking for. And we really both did a deep dive and had a wonderful conversation about her love for travel and her love for rocks and minerals and her love for crafting. She's really good at that, and it was just wonderful. She showed me pictures of where she's traveled to, and I just love talking to people who are passionate about what they do. I love seeing how their eyes light up and just the energy that they give off when they talk about something they love. I think that really makes my day. And so it was a whole 360 shift, and it really just shifted my perspective on the week and how things are changing and how everything I'm feeling is temporary. And I have a note on one of my walls that says, how are you going to challenge yourself today? And I was thinking of that lately, and really every time I show up to work, I'm challenging myself. Although I'm not doing what I fully want to do, it is a step closer to who I want to become, and it takes a lot of effort to show up to work. If you're listening to this and you're not fully where you want to be and you're not in the position you want to be career-wise, I applaud you for showing up to work, because you got to pay your bills. I know you got priorities and things like that, but you're showing up not just to work, you're showing up for yourself. And that also made me really think too, in terms of the overall big picture of my future. If I can show up to work every day, I can show up to future me and what I want to do. I need to keep showing up and create these episodes. I need to keep showing up and keep being consistent with my projects. I have a few projects that I feel like I haven't touched in a while, and so I just need to keep showing up. If I can keep showing up to work every day and endure the daily struggles, I can keep showing up to my passion projects, because, we wake up to our alarm at 7, 8 a.m. and even though we don't want to, we need to, because we need to survive. We need to have money to live. Similarly to your vision has to be greater than your daily struggles. Your vision has to be greater than where you're at now. You have to remember who you're doing all of this for. Keep showing up not just for yourself, but for your future self, for the people that you want to help out. And this is a reminder to not only myself, but to those who are listening, to reevaluate your priorities. Maybe you don't need to go out as much. Maybe you don't need to eat out as much either. Maybe you need to enjoy your rent and stay at home more often to save some money. And maybe you need to start journaling, start writing down your thoughts and your ideas more often, and really invest your time in yourself and your future. Because lately I feel like things have been chaotic and I haven't been doing my daily routines, my morning and night routines, and it kind of sets things off. And that's because I've had family over for the past few weeks. But that's the thing. That's life. Life will throw a lot of curveballs at you. You just have to keep showing up and keep reminding yourself of what your purpose is. And if you don't know what your purpose is, keep exploring. Keep getting to know yourself. I feel like your relationship with yourself should be similar to a relationship you have with others. You want to speak to yourself kindly. You want to give yourself self-affirmations that are encouraging. And I was doing a self-affirmation practice with my niece while I was doing her hair, and I said, repeat after me. I am beautiful. I'm confident. I am smart. And just doing that practice and vocalizing that out loud, I feel like really helped boost her confidence and kind of helped her realize who she is, just those little things. She's only 10, but planting those seeds in your minds really is important, and I can't stress that enough. Taking care of yourself, watering yourself instead of watering other people's needs is so important. Too often we're watering other people's grass when in reality we should be taking care of our own grass and watering it and nourishing it. And so that's where I'm at. I feel like lately I'm trying to get back into the groove of things because I have not been in my routine in a moment. And so this is kind of my reminder to myself and to those who feel like if you're falling off or if you feel like you're not yourself, try to do different practices like changing your environment, doing things you wouldn't usually do, like go to the gym on a certain day or a certain time, or trying a different meal out, and really just pivoting. I say that a lot, but it really is important to growing. I just went to dinner with my boyfriend and his friends last night, and I hear a lot of people about where they're at, in their career, and everyone's so different in their path, and it just makes me realize that the only person you're in competition is with yourself. And I hear so many people wish that they could have done things differently 20 years ago, that they wish they could have pursued their purpose and their passion. I hear that a lot in people who have been more established in their career and have been working in that position for 20 years, that they wish they could have focused more on what they really wanted to do, their passion. And when I hear that, it gives me a good reminder to keep grinding on my passion projects, because although I have my day job, I also feel like that's taking a big toll on my creativity and things like that. But I also have to keep working on my passion projects and my creativity, and not lose sight of what that is going to take, where that's going to take me, essentially. Like this podcast, and although it's small, if I keep pushing at it, I just know that it's going to be great. I'm going to make it, and you have to be your biggest fan. You have to keep pushing yourself, especially on days where you feel like giving up. Remember that your purpose has to be bigger than where you're at. Your vision has to be greater than your daily struggles. And recognizing that where you're at is not where you're going to be. I feel like I've forgotten that, and just hearing myself say that out loud gives me the sense of reassurance that things will be okay. I'll figure it out, because I've been showing up the past 4 or 5 years, even though it's been hard, even though it's not an easy road. I mean, if it was easy, everybody would be doing what they love, but it's not. I think of it as I'm the first person in my family who is doing what I truly want to do, doing what I love, and it takes a lot of courage and effort to pursue what you love. And the beginning isn't easy. It never is. You have to keep showing up for yourself to see the plot in your story, because you are still creating your story. As a writer, I know that the beginning is just a small section, a small chapter in the whole story, and the plot's coming up, the build-up, tension, and the anticipation. It's all building up to the plot. If you get anything out of this, it's that, to keep showing up for yourself, not just for yourself, for your future you, for the people you love, and for your vision. Take a breath, look outside, go on a walk, ease your mind, do things to slow your mind, because our brain works a lot faster than our bodies. It's a good practice to slow things down when you need to, and really allow yourself to rest when you need to as well. Otherwise you'll get burnt out. I feel like I was burnt out last week, and now I'm slowly in the process of recovering and taking care of myself and getting adequate sleep. And so it's not easy. You're gonna go through this roller coaster of emotions, of wanting to give up, but trust in you and trust in your vision to keep going. Because confidence is your ability to prove yourself. to yourself, not to anybody else. If you can keep doing hard things and proving to yourself that you can do hard things, that builds confidence. So if you're listening to this and you're not where you want to be, and you feel like giving up and you feel exhausted and you feel like you should just move and travel and quit your job, girl, so does everybody else. Everybody else feels the same way you do. The difference is some are giving up, some are showing up, and some are delaying what they truly want to do. Is that what you want to do? Too often, people delay what they really want to do by following a path that will give them something quickly. And I know in my heart of hearts that where I want to be will take time. There's no quick and easy way to get to where I want to be, because I'm building a foundation for my future, and I'm sure you are as well. So take the time to invest in yourself, invest in your health and in your mind, because showing up for yourself can look like going to bed early. Showing up for yourself means saying no to going out with your friends. Showing up can look like putting yourself in a position that makes you feel uncomfortable, but it works for you and for your future to get a better idea of what you want to do. What I mean by that is I feel like every day I'm showing up to work and talking to people and just putting myself in positions where I'm constantly being challenged, you know? Showing up for yourself can look like taking a bath and allowing your mind to slow down. Showing up for yourself is doing another rep in your workout. Showing up for yourself can look like going to work every day. Showing up for yourself can look like a lot of things, and I'd like to know what that looks like for you. Share your stories, because I'd love to hear them. And if you're not already, follow me on Instagram and Spotify. 5 stars if you can. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for choosing to make it through this full episode, and I'll see you in another one real soon. Mwah. Salamat.